Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Chak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is the Mayim in Atlanta, and today I'd like to go over the parable of the wheat and the tares here in Matthew 13. And so first I'm going to read it straight through 24 to 30, and then we'll start breaking it down where Yahweh Shai broke it down at 36 through 43. And so getting right into it. And this happened while a multitude gathered to listen to Yahweh Shai speak. And he spoke to them all in parables because he knew that most of them weren't going to get it in the first place. But it's for his servants to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, as spoken up at verse 11 of Matthew 13. But getting into it, verse Matthew 13 and 24 says, "Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field." And so right off the bat, we should get the word parable, and this is it from the Strong's Concordance, or from the Blue Letter, and it's Strong's G 3850 parabole, and it's a placing of one thing by the side of another, a juxtaposition, as of ships in battle. Skipping down to A, it says a comparison of one thing with another, a likeness, a similitude. An example by which a doctrine or precept is illustrated, a narrative, fictitious, but agreeable to the laws and usages of human life, by which either the duties of men or the things of the Most High, particularly the nature and history of the Most High's kingdom, are figuratively portrayed. D, a parable, an earthly story with a heavenly meaning. And let's just skip to the Strong's definition. It says a similitude, or a fictitious narrative of common life conveying a moral, a pothegm, or adage, which don't know that word. Apothegm. Apothegm. A concise saying or maxim, an aphorism. Apothegm is tomorrow is another day. Well, okay. We've got the definition of a parable. It's a comparison, basically. And so, going back, Matthew 13 and 24. "Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also." And if you know anything about wheat and tares, they look very, very similar, which I have a picture pulled up here, and it'd be extremely hard to differentiate between the tares and the wheat. And you've got the wheat here on the left and the tares are on the right. So you see what he's talking about. It says, "So the servants of the house," verse 27, "So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then hath it tares? He said unto them, An enemy hath done this. The servants said unto him, Wilt thou then we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay, lest while we gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest, and in the time of harvest I will say to the reapers, Gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn." And so he said this parable, and later the disciples asked him to break it down for them. And so skip into 36, Matthew 13 and verse 36. Then Yahushua sent the multitude away and went into the house, and his disciples came unto him, saying, Declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field. And so here is the breakdown from Yahushua's lips. Verse 37, he answered and said unto them, He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. That is Yahushua himself. The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom. The children of the kingdom are the Israelites. And today the Israelites would be known as Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And our seed has also been scattered throughout the earth. And so there's going to be remnants of us within all of the other nations. That's the mixed multitude. And that's from the scattering. So we are going to come back looking like all of the other nations, but the Israelites were predominantly the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But there's even, with that, or we'll get to it because this will explain the other part of that. So that's the children of the kingdom, the Israelites. It says, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. The wicked one being the devil, and it's speaking of the Edomites. The Edomites started with the seed of the wicked one. The lineage of the wicked one goes from the serpent in the garden to Cain and Cain's descendants, and then the flood happened, so all of them died off, but that seed, that soul, was reincarnated into Esau. And you could get the lineage of the Edomites here in Genesis 36, where it says, now, 36 and 1, now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom. And it gives you all of his lineage here in Genesis 36 and on down. And they had dukes, and he had a lot of sons, and were given the world. They were given a temporary blessing in which they've ruled, and we're coming to the end of that blessing. But the wicked also, when you see wicked, it's speaking of the Edomites, who the Edomites today are so-called the small hatters, the 1948ers. That's the top of Edom. The people claiming to be the Lord's people, those are actually Edomites. And the Lord says he hates them, even right here, which we'll read that, Malachi 1 and verse 2. It says, I have loved you, saith the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? And again, Esau being the small hatters, the 1948ers, as well as so-called Caucasians, so-called white people. Those are the Edomites, and those are the people that the earth has been given into the hands of. It's not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord, yet I loved Jacob. Jacob's name was later changed to Israel. And so those are the children of righteousness. It says, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. That's the point. These are the wicked. That's the wicked one. And the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever, because the Lord has saved them up all the way for the day of destruction. So this is Proverbs 16 and verse 4. It says, the Lord hath made all things for himself, even the wicked, the Edomites, for the day of evil. That's the great and terrible day of the Lord. He has them saved up and all their sins saved up for him to unleash on them and to make a great example out of them. That's the wicked. And they are, now let's get it again, because the Lord has the wicked saved for the day of judgment. This is Isaiah 34:5, so we could see again that it's speaking of the Edomites. Isaiah 34:5, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. Idumea is the Greek way of saying Edom, which Esau is Edom, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. They're a cursed people because the Lord has saved them and made them to be this great example. But going back to Matthew 13, that is the wicked. That's the wicked one. But the tares are the children of the wicked one. And you even put this into context now, because we know that the man carries the seed. You could look at Numbers 1 and 18 to verify that, which we should do that right now, because we are speaking of seed. This is Numbers 1 and 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward, by their polls. So it's all through the father. It says by the house of their fathers, because the man carries the seed. And we're speaking of the wheat and the tares, the seed of the righteous versus the seed of the wicked. And it says, but the tares are the children of the wicked one, because the Edomites, through their conquest and colonizing, they have also spread their seed around throughout the four corners of the earth, and they've spread their seed tremendously through the Israelites, through the Israelite woman. And so think of the conquistadors coming over to North America and Central America, South America. They had their way with Israelite women, and the children that came from that would be considered tares, because they look like Israelites, but the seed is different. And then with us, we've been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, the Israelites, and we've laid our seed in the women of the different nations. And so, because we are the seed of the righteous, those are still Israelites, but they will come looking like the other nations. But that's wheat and the tares. Those are, because the lineage is all through the man, through the seed, which, let's even get that term seed. Let's go to Matthew as well. So good seed. So, and you should be able to see it from just the word here. Seed is Strong's G 4690, sperma. Let's see. It says down here, the semen viral. It says the product of this semen, seed, children, offspring, progeny, family, tribe, posterity. That is the seed. So you can see it's talking about bloodlines and where these bloodlines have gone. And so there are people of the lineage of the wicked one, of the lineage of Edomites, that actually look like Israelites, but they are not Israelites, because it's not about how you look, it's about the spirit. It's about the seed line that you come from. It's about who your father's father was, and so on and so forth, so on back, all the way back. And if that comes to an Israelite, then they are an Israelite. Going to verse 39. It says, the enemy that sowed them is the devil. And devil means slanderer or deceiver, and they have done their work in slandering and deceiving the entire earth. So we're going to get Job 9 and 24. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. And we went through this, Malachi 1 and 4. The wicked are the Edomites, the Idumeans, the people of the Lord's cursed to judgment. And the devil and the children of Satan. They're Satan, the adversary. It says, he covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? And this is slander. It is a deception, and there's no larger deception than white Jesus, which has been pushed all throughout the earth. And that's why they are considered devils, because they've deceived the entire earth to make the people think that that's what the Lord looks like, that he looks like an Edomite. He's not. He's not a so-called white man. He's a so-called Negro. Slanderers. There's no bigger deception than that. And it says, to keep going, but just driving home the point, the enemy that sowed them is the devil, the Edomites. The harvest is the end of the world. And we're coming to that point. And we know that the end of the world, who would be in rulership, but none other than the Edomites. This is 2nd Ezra 6 and verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. So this is an Israelite kingdom that's coming, and we're currently in an Edomite kingdom, with Babylon the Great, America, being their headquarters, if you could say. Skipping back to Matthew 13. The harvest is the end of the world. So it's the end of an age, and it's the end of Esau's age, Esau's time of rulership. And the reapers are the angels. And we know that Michael is going to come back and defend the Israelites as well, because it's going to be a time of trouble such as never was before. And we know that Michael's going to be fighting against the dragon. Verse 40 is, therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of the world. And this is, let's get Revelation 9 and 18. Oops. Revelation 9 and 18. It says, by these three was the third part of men killed. The third part of men are the sons of the wicked, the Edomites. This includes the small hatters, and it's all of Caucasia, the ones that actually descend back to Esau through their fathers, which not all white people descend back to Esau through their father. It says, by these three was the third part of men killed, by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone, which issued out of their mouths. The third part of men killed. So we're going to go back to verse 40. It's, therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of the world. The third part of men will be taken out in this manner. The Edomites. The tares, or the tares being the Edomites that look like Israelites. And I should also say that this also goes back to the Herodians, because the Herodian dynasty was started, or the progenitor of their dynasty was Antipater the Idumean. And so Antipater's a so-called white guy. You can look him up. There's busts of him and or not a statue, but paintings of him. And he is the progenitor of the Herodians, and he married a oh man, he married, I want to say she is Arabic, a dark-skinned Arabic woman, and then his son started marrying Israelite women, and that mixing caused them to resemble tares. So there's a wink at the Herodians through the wheat and the tares, because they weren't actually Israelites. Even though they were set up as the royalty, they weren't actually Israelites. And so they're not going to receive any of the benefits of the kingdom. There's some of these tares that are going to be gathered up and burned in the fire at the end of Esau's world. Verse 41, the Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom and all things that offend, and them which do iniquity. And the Lord's coming to put down all rule, power, and authority. It said here in 1 Corinthians 15 and 24, then cometh the end. It's the end of Esau's world, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom to the Most High, even the Father, when he shall have put down all rule and all authority and power, for he must reign till he hath put all enemies under his foot. So the Lord's going to put down all idolatry, all power that the Gentiles have, because this is the time of the Gentiles, and Jerusalem's being trodden down by these Gentiles until their time is fulfilled. And when it's fulfilled, they're going to be trodden down by Yahushua, because he's going to put down all of their idols, all of their unclean foods, all of their wicked practices, and everything that offends. He's going to put it all down. And the wicked, and they're all going to have to go into captivity for 1,000 years, for that 1,000-year reign. Verse 42, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. And that is the lake of fire, which, actually, we'll go back here and get it. Because the Lord's going to cast out all of this evil. Revelation 21 and verse 8, but the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars, which the Edomites are all liars that go astray as soon as they come from the womb, shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. The first death was the flood, and this nuclear war that's coming with World War III is the second death. And this is where the Edomites lose control. This is where they lose the power that they've had. This is where their blessing ends, and all the Mosaic curses go on to them. And then finishing it out, there shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. It's got that word sun there. Shall shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Because Israel is known as, in the Hebrew, is Yashar Allah. He, Prince Power. These are the sons of the great king, Yahweh. And this is where that will all be shown off, that the Lord's chosen are the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Sons of power. It's Malachi 4 and verse 2. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son, and that's a capital S on that Son, shall the Son of righteousness, speaking of Yahushua, arise with healing in his wings, and ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. Had to get that because it said Son there. And then also it says, or going back to it, verse 43 in Matthew 13, then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Who hath ears to hear, let him hear. So this is when the Israelites will be really known as, or even just being known as the Israelites, because currently we're being called proverbs and bywords. But this is where the Lord is going to really shine and show that he has favor on the Israelites, that we are the sons of the Most High, that we are his chosen, and that we're not just these bottom dwellers. We are the chosen, and this is when it'll be shown. Let's grab one more scripture here in Wisdom of Solomon, because it said we shall shine. So Wisdom of Solomon 3 and verse 7. And in the time of their visitation, this being the elect, they shall shine and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. They shall judge the nations and have dominion over the people, and their Lord shall reign forever. Going back to Matthew 13 again. In 43, then shall the righteous shine. We just saw it in Wisdom of Solomon. Shall shine, run to and fro like the sparks among the stubble. And it says, as the sun, and we just saw in Malachi, the son of righteousness. And as the sun, Yahushua, the son of righteousness, he said we will do the things he's done and greater. And in I think it's Zechariah, it speaks of, actually, forget that. I can't get the words out currently, but it says, then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Who hath ears to hear, let him hear. Oh, he said in the house of David shall be as God. So as the sun. So Lord willing, that was edifying. I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.